strategy is what we call GERD, which is get ready, do, and done. And I know GERD maybe sounds a little weird, but we got to make these abbreviations stick. So basically what it is I'm going to show you three parts and then I'll show you what the whole thing looks like. This has a number 1 up here and this has a number 6. So no, it doesn't make sense. But what we do is we start GERD thinking about get ready, do, and done with the end in mind. So as former teachers, we did a lot of backwards planning where we needed to know what our ultimate objective was for each lesson. And it's not like, sometimes we might tell our students that, but we also wanted learning to be a process and fresh and exciting. So we might not always tell them the end game, but when you're doing something like your homework or your big projects or what have you, you need to know what it should look like at the end. So this one is the first one, but it's called done, which is kind of sort of a little different for us to think about, or especially students to think about why should I start with the end in mind.
And I think it also helps them to think about that they will get done. It's like
yeah, it's hopeful,
nice to
right?
start there because they're thinking about the good feeling of what it'll look like when it's done and that they will get there instead of the beginning where it feels like this huge hill that they have to climb.
Right. So there's going to be 6 steps. The first one is that done, but then here, isn't this interesting? How do you know you're done? That's a really
Yes.
great question to ask any student, right?
Yes. And it's a great time to get them to look at like the rubric or the score guide, which
Oh yeah.
so many kids, they know it's there and they just don't understand the value of it and they just don't look at it.
That rubric is your friend. It's your BFF.
Yes.
Yeah. So the second one is to break it down. That's the do part. Now, usually in most assignments, there will be a couple of steps. And even if logically there's one step, turning it in is a step. Believe me, a lot of kids forget that part. This is step number 2. Step number 5, we will talk a little bit about time later, but time markers are really important because if you estimate this to be homework project or big project to take maybe say 30 minutes, well, when are you halfway finished? Is it at 15 minutes? Maybe you should kind of check your pace and identify things like time robbers, things that kind of get in your way from completing this in a timely fashion. And then this get ready is actually a number 3 because the materials you need are like Kelly had written in that long-term planning worksheet, what you mentioned in that.
Yeah.
How many times do kids stop in the middle of like the first 10 minutes and say, oh my gosh, my pencil broke, or oh my goodness, I'm so thirsty, and then they get up and then they go take care of business. Oh, and they need to get back to it. So those are big distractors that really, I guess, the procrastinator utilizes on a regular basis that we need to kind of put a kibosh on, right? I want to show you what this looks like, but number 4 is gathering all your materials and get ready. So your get ready, it looks like this. This is when a student was working on his math and he always had a hard time being efficient with his math. So basically, here's that 1, here's the 2, here's the 3, here's the 4, here's the 5, and here's the 6. So you don't really get ready until you look at how it needs to look. Like what does done mean? And so Max had said here, just all the problems were answered. I double checked my work. I knew it would be done then. He figured there's 6 problems, 3 pages. It'll take 25 minutes. So his halfway point is probably 12 and a half minutes. So he should check the clock then and make sure he's efficient.
That's awesome.
And then he figured, well, I need a snack. I'm always thirsty. I like cold water and my pencil is ready to go. So I call this part up here, the 3, 2, 1, the thinking part, which you get your future glasses on here. And I call the bottom part the doing part. So that actually is get ready, do, and done. And he knows that he needs to check, have the teachers check it, or I think he has to turn it in as a little folder thing, and then teachers check it. That's how he knows he's all done. This one is also laminated. So you get to print this a blank colored one just like this, and you can laminate it. So that's why we have dry erase marker on it. You can use it over and over again. Plus it's kind of fun to plan with all the neat, bright colors, right?
Anything like that where you can just like streamline using it. So if it's laminated or if like you print one of these documents 10 times just the first time so that there's 10 copies of it right there. Like, it's amazing how just the smallest little barriers are big barriers.
I
So
know, yeah, exactly.